Sushi, sushi, shusi, kai, ja, pronounced as WCI or SWCI, is a traditional Japanese dish of prepared vinegared rice kai fan, sushi-meshi, usually with some sugar and salt, accompanied by a variety of ingredients neta, such as seafood, often raw, and vegetables. Styles of sushi and its presentation vary widely, but the one key ingredient is sushi rice, also referred to as shari or sumeshi's fan. Sushi is traditionally made with medium grain white rice, though it can be prepared with brown rice or short grain rice. It is very often prepared with seafood, such as squid, eel, yellowtail, salmon, tuna, or imitation crab meat. Many types of sushi are vegetarian. It is often served with pickled ginger gari, wasabi, and soy sauce. Daikon radish or pickled Daikon takuan are popular garnishes for the dish. Sushi is sometimes confused with sashimi, a related dish in Japanese cuisine that consists of thinly sliced raw fish or occasionally meat. History. A dish known as Nerezashizunri Shusi, salted fish, stored in fermented rice for possibly months at a time, has been cited as one of the early influences for the Japanese practice of applying rice on raw fish. The fish was fermented with rice vinegar, salt, and rice, after which the rice was discarded. The process can be traced back to the early domestication of rice in the Neolithic cultures of China. Fermentation methods following similar logic in other Asian rice cultures include prahak pirok, plara, burong ista, sikasai, amazake ganju. The lactofermentation of the rice prevents the fish from spoiling. When wet field rice cultivation was introduced during the Yewei period, lakes and rivers would flood during the rainy season and fish would get caught in the rice paddy fields. Pickling was a way to preserve the excess fish and guarantee food for the next months, and nerezashi became an important source of protein for Japanese consumers. The term sushi literally means sour tasting and comes from an antiquated shishi terminal form conjugation, sushi, no longer used in other contexts, of the adjectival verb sui to be sour. The overall dish has a sour and umami or savory taste. Nerezashi still exists as a regional specialty, notably as funazashi from Shiga Prefecture. Vinegar began to be added to the preparation of nerezashi in the Muromachi period. In addition to increasing the sourness of the rice, the vinegar significantly increased the dish's longevity, causing the fermentation process to be shortened and eventually abandoned. The primitive sushi would be further developed in Osaka, where over several centuries it became oshizashi or hakozashi. In this preparation, the seafood and rice were pressed into shape with wooden, typically bamboo molds. It was not until the Edo period 1603–1868 that fresh fish was served over vinegared rice and nori. The particular style of today's nigirizashi became popular in Edo contemporary Tokyo in the 1820s or 1830s. One common story of nigirizashi's origins is of the chef Hanae Yohei (1799–1858), who invented or perfected the technique in 1824 at his shop in Ryagaku. The dish was originally termed edamizashi as it used freshly caught fish from the Edo or Tokyo Bay. The term edami nigirizashi is still used today as a byword for quality sushi, regardless of its ingredients' origins. The earliest written mention of sushi in English described in the Oxford English Dictionary is in an 1893 book, A Japanese Interior, where it mentions sushi as a roll of cold rice with fish, seaweed, or some other flavoring. There is an earlier mention of sushi in James Hepburn's Japanese English Dictionary from 1873 and an 1879 article on Japanese cookery in the journal Notes and Queries. Types. The common ingredient in all types of sushi is vinegared sushi rice. Fillings, toppings, condiments, and preparation vary widely. Due to Rendaku consonant mutation, sushi is pronounced with zu instead of su when a prefix is attached, as in nigirizashi. Kairoshizashi. Kairoshizashi kairashi, shusi, scattered sushi, also referred to as barazushi, serves the rice in a bowl and tops it with a variety of raw fish and vegetable garnishes. It is commonly eaten because it is filling, fast and easy to make. It is eaten annually on Hinamatsuri in March and Kodomonohi in May. Edeni Kairoshizashi Edo-style scattered sushi is served with uncooked ingredients in an artful arrangement. Makazushi Kansai-style sushi consists of cooked or uncooked ingredients mixed in the body of rice. Seizushi Kyushu-style sushi uses rice wine over vinegar in preparing the rice, and is topped with shrimp, sea bream, octopus, shiitake mushrooms, bamboo shoots, and shredded omelette. Inarizushi. Inarizushi Dao Hishu is a pouch of fried tofu typically filled with sushi rice alone. Tales tell that Inarizushi is named after the Shinto god Nori. Foxes, messengers of Inari, are believed to have a fondness for fried tofu, and an Inarizushi roll has pointed corners that resemble fox ears. Regional variations include pouches made of a thin omelette bosha shusi, fukusuzushi, or chajin shusi, chakinzushi instead of tofu. It should not be confused with inari maki, which is a roll filled with flavored fried tofu. Cone sushi is a variant of inarizushi originating in Hawaii that may include green beans, carrots, or gobo along with rice, wrapped in a triangular abura-age piece. It is often sold in akazuya Japanese delis and as a component of bento boxes. Makazeshi. Makazeshi Huan Kai Shusi, rolled sushi, Norimaki Hai Tai Huan Kai Nori roll, used generically for other dishes as well, or Makamono Huan Wu, variety of rolls, is a cylindrical piece formed with the help of a bamboo mat known as a Makasu Huan Kai lion. Makazeshi is generally wrapped in nori seaweed, but is occasionally wrapped in a thin omelette, sui paper, cucumber, or shiso leaves. Makazeshi is usually cut into 6 or 8 pieces, which constitutes a single roll order. Below are some common types of makazeshi, but many other kinds exist. Fudamaki Taiwan, thick, large, or fat rolls, is a large cylindrical piece, usually with nori on the outside. A typical Fudamaki is 5 to 6 centimeters, 2 to 2 plus 1/2 in diameter. They are often made with 2, 3, or more fillings that are chosen for their complementary tastes and colors. Fudamaki are often vegetarian and may utilize strips of cucumber, campio gourd, takenoko bamboo shoots, or lotus root. Strips of tamagoyaki omelet, tiny fish roe, chopped tuna, and aboro food whitefish flakes are typical non-vegetarian fillings. Traditionally, the vinegared rice is lightly seasoned with salt and sugar. Popular proteins are fish cakes, imitation crab meat, egg, tuna, or shrimp. Vegetables usually include cucumbers, lettuces, and takuan and pickled radish. Short grain white rice is usually used, although short grain brown rice, like olive oil on nori, is now becoming more widespread among the health conscious. Rarely, sweet rice is mixed in Makazushi rice. Nowadays, the rice in Makazushi can be many kinds of black rice, boiled rice, and cereals. Besides the common ingredients listed above, some varieties may include cheese, spicy cooked squid, yakiniku, kamaboko, lunch meat sausage, bacon, or spicy tuna. The nori may be brushed with sesame oil or sprinkled with sesame seeds. In a variation, sliced pieces of Makazushi may be lightly fried with egg coating. Tamago Makazushi Yuzai Huan Kai Shu Si is Makazushi is rolled out by a thin egg. Tempura Makazushi Tempura Huan Kai Shu Si or Ajizushi Yangji Shusi Roru is a fried version of the dish. During the evening of the festival of Setsubunjai Fen, it is traditional in the Kansai region to eat a particular kind of uncut futamaki in its cylindrical form, called ahamaki hiwi fang huan, lucky direction roll. By 2000 the custom had spread to all of Japan. Ahamaki is a roll composed of 7 ingredients considered to be lucky. The typical ingredients include kampio, egg eel, and shiitake mushrooms. Ehimaki often include other ingredients too. People usually eat the ehimaki while facing the direction considered to be auspicious that year. Hasamaki zaihuan, thin rolls, is a small cylindrical piece with nori on the outside. A typical hasamaki has a diameter of about 2.5 centimeters 1 in. They generally contain only one filling, often tuna, cucumber, campio, natto, umeboshi paste, squid with shiso Japanese herb. Kapamaki, Hitanghuan is a kind of hasamaki filled with cucumber. It is named after the Japanese legendary water imp, fond of cucumbers, called the kappa. Traditionally, kapamaki is consumed to clear the palate between eating raw fish and other kinds of food, so that the flavors of the fish are distinct from the tastes of other foods. Tekamaki tai huohuan is a kind of hasamaki filled with raw tuna. Although it is believed that the word teka, meaning red-hot iron, alludes to the color of the tuna flesh or salmon flesh, it actually originated as a quick snack to eat in gambling dens called takabatai huo chang, much like the origins of the sandwich. Negitoramaki negitoro one is a kind of hasamaki filled with scallion negi and chopped tuna toro. Fatty tuna is often used in this style. Tsunamayamaki tsunamaya is a kind of hasamaki filled with canned tuna tossed with mayonnaise. Temeki shuwan, hand roll, is a large cone-shaped piece of nori on the outside and the ingredients spilling out the wide end. A typical temaki is about 10 centimeters 4 in long and is eaten with fingers because it is too awkward to pick it up with chopsticks. For optimal taste and texture, temaki must be eaten quickly after being made because the nori cone soon absorbs moisture from the filling and loses its crispness, making it somewhat difficult to bite through. For this reason, the nori in pre-made or take-out temaki is sealed in plastic film which is removed immediately before eating. Modern nirzushi. Nirzushi shu rishusi, matured sushi, is a traditional form of fermented sushi. Skinned and gutted fish are stuffed with salt, placed in a wooden barrel, doused with salt again, then weighed down with a heavy tsukemonoshi pickling stone. As days pass, water seeps out and is removed. After 6 months, this sushi can be eaten, remaining edible for another 6 months or more. The most famous variety of nirzushi are the ones offered as a specialty dish of Shiga Prefecture, particularly the funazushi made from fish of the crucian carp genus, the authentic version of which calls for the use of nigorabana, a particular locally differentiated variety of wild goldfish endemic to Lake Biwa. Nigirizushi. Nigirizushi wo rai shusi. Hand-pressed sushi consists of an oblong mound of sushi rice that the chef presses between the palms of the hands to form an oval-shaped ball, and a topping the neta draped over the ball. It is usually served with a bit of wasabi. Neta are typically fish such as salmon, tuna, or other seafood. Certain toppings are typically bound to the rice with a thin strip of nori, most commonly octopus taco, freshwater eel unagi, sea eel enigo, squid ika, and sweet egg tamigo. One order of a given type of fish typically results in 2 pieces, while a sushi set sampler dish may contain only 1 piece of each topping. Gankanmaki junjian huan, worship roll, is a special type of nigirizushi, an oval, hand-formed clump of sushi rice that has a strip of nori wrapped around its perimeter to form a vessel that is filled with some soft, loose or fine-chopped ingredient that requires the confinement of nori such as roe, natto, oysters, uni sea urchin roe, corn with milk. Gankanmaki was invented at the Jinzukubi restaurant in 1941. Its invention significantly expanded the repertoire of soft toppings used in sushi. Temurazeshi shu mari shusi. Ball sushi is a sushi made by pressing rice and fish into a ball-shaped form by hand using a plastic wrap. Ashizushi. Ashizushiyashi shusi. Pressed sushi, also known as hakozushi zang shusi, box sushi, is a pressed sushi from the Kansai region, a favorite and specialty of Osaka. A block-shaped piece is formed using a wooden mold called an ashibako. The chef lines the bottom of the ashibako with the toppings, covers them with sushi rice, and then presses the lid of the mold down to create a compact rectilinear block. The block is removed from the mold and then cut into bite-sized pieces. Particularly famous is Batsutora batara, pressed mackerel sushi or kingshushi sabazushi. In Ashizushiyashi, all the ingredients are either cooked or cured, and raw fish is never used. Western-style sushi. Uramaki, 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 uramaki. Uramaki Lai Huan, inside-out roll, is a medium-sized cylindrical piece with two or more fillings and was developed as a result of the creation of the California roll, as a method originally meant to hide the nori. Uramaki differs from other makemono because the rice is on the outside and the nori inside. The filling is in the center surrounded by nori, then a layer of rice, and optionally an outer coating of some other ingredients such as raw or toasted sesame seeds. It can be made with different fillings such as tuna, crab meat, avocado, mayonnaise, cucumber, or carrots. Examples of variations include the rainbow roll, and inside-out topped with thinly sliced maguro, hamachi, babai, sake, and avocado, and the caterpillar roll, and inside-out topped with thinly sliced avocado. Also commonly found is the rock and roll, and inside-out roll with barbecued freshwater eel and avocado with toasted sesame seeds on the outside. In Japan, uramaki is an uncommon type of makemono. Because sushi is traditionally eaten by hand in Japan, the outer layer of rice can be quite difficult to handle with fingers. In Brazil, uramaki and other sushi pieces include cream cheese in their recipe. Uncommon for the traditional recipe, this is the most common type of ingredient used in preparation of sushi in the country. Tamaki, a nori cone with sushi rice and salmon cubes, also contain a large amount of cream cheese, being extremely popular among the restaurants. American-style Makazeshi. Fudamaki is a more popular variation of sushi within the United States and comes in variations that take their names from their places of origin. Other rolls may include a variety of ingredients including chopped scallops, spicy tuna, beef or chicken teriyaki roll, okra, and assorted vegetables such as cucumber and avocado, and the tempura roll, where shrimp tempura is inside the roll or the entire roll is battered and fried tempura style. In the southern United States, many sushi restaurants prepare rolls using crawfish. Sometimes, rolls are made with brown rice or black rice, known as forbidden rice, which appear in Japanese cuisine as well. Per Food and Drug Administration regulations, raw fish served in the United States must be frozen prior to serving in order to kill parasites. Because of this and the relative difficulty of acquiring fresh seafood compared to Japan, raw seafood, e.g., sashimi, is not as prevalent a component in American-style sushi. Since rolls are often made to order, it is not unusual for the customer to specify the exact ingredients desired, e.g., salmon roll, cucumber roll, avocado roll, tuna roll, shrimp or tuna tempura roll, etc. Though the menu names of dishes often vary by restaurant, some examples include Canada. Many of the styles seen in the United States are also seen in Canada, as well as their own. Doshi Sushi Donut is a donut-shaped bowl of rice on a deep-fried crab or imitation crab cake topped with sushi ingredients. Maki poutine is similar to a maki sushi in style, except it is topped with cheese curds and gravy and contains duck confit, more cheese curds, and sweet potato tempura. Sushi cake is made of crab meat, avocado, shiitake mushroom, salmon, spicy tuna, and tobiko, and served on sushi rice, then torched with spicy mayo, BBQ sauce, balsamic reduction, and dotted with caper and garlic chips. Sushi Pizza is a deep-fried rice or crab/imitation crab cake topped with mayo and various sushi ingredients. Sushi in Asia. South Korea. Kimbap, similar to Makazeshi, is a popular takeout food in South Korea. It consists of gim nori flavored with sesame oil and salt rolled around rice and a variety of ingredients such as vegetables and meat. Ingredients: all sushi has a base of specially prepared rice, complemented with other ingredients. Traditional Japanese sushi consisting of rice flavored with vinegar sauce and various raw or cooked ingredients. Sushi-meshi. Sushi-meshi kai fan, also known as sumeshi zuo fan, shari yadaru lai, or gohan go fan, is a preparation of white short-grained Japanese rice mixed with a dressing consisting of rice vinegar, sugar, salt, and occasionally kombucha sake. It has to be cooled to room temperature before being used for a filling in a sushi, or else it will get too sticky while being seasoned. Traditionally, it is mixed with a hangiri, a round, flat-bottom wooden tub or barrel, and a shamoji, a wooden paddle. Sushi rice is prepared with short-grain Japanese rice, which has a consistency that differs from long-grain strains such as those from India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Thailand, and Vietnam. The essential quality is its stickiness or glutinousness, although the type of rice used for sushi is different from glutinous rice. Freshly harvested rice sūshi:meshi typically contains too much water and requires extra time to drain the rice cooker after washing. In some fusion cuisine restaurants, short-grain brown rice and wild rice are also used. There are regional variations in sushi rice, and individual chefs have their individual methods. Most of the variations are in the rice vinegar dressing. The Kanto region or East Japan version of the dressing commonly uses more salt. In Kansai region or West Japan, the dressing has more sugar. Nori. The black seaweed wrappers used in makemono are called nori Thai. Nori is a type of algae traditionally cultivated in the harbors of Japan. Originally, algae was scraped from dock pilings, rolled out into thin, edible sheets, and dried in the sun in a process similar to making rice paper. Today, the commercial product is farmed, processed, toasted, packaged, and sold in sheets. The size of a nori sheet influences the size of makemono. A full-size sheet produces Fudamaki, and a half produces hasamaki and temaki. To produce gunkan and some other makemono, an appropriately sized piece of nori is cut from a whole sheet. Nori by itself is an edible snack and is available with salt or flavored with teriyaki sauce. The flavored variety, however, tends to be of lesser quality and is not suitable for sushi. When making Kairoshizashi, a paper-thin omelet may replace a sheet of nori as the wrapping. The omelet is traditionally made on a rectangular omelet pan, known as a makiyakanabe, and used to form the pouch for the rice and fillings. Gu. The ingredients used inside sushi are called gu and are typically varieties of fish. For culinary, sanitary, and aesthetic reasons, the minimum quality and freshness of fish to be eaten raw must be superior to that of fish which is to be cooked. Sushi chefs are trained to recognize important attributes, including smell, color, firmness, and freedom from parasites that may go undetected in commercial inspection. Commonly used fish are tuna maguro, shiro maguro, Japanese amberjack, yellowtail hamachi, snapper kuridai, mackerel saba, and salmon sake. The most valued sushi ingredient is toro, the fatty cut of the fish. This comes in a variety of atoro, often from the bluefin species of tuna, and chutoro, meaning middle toro, implying that it is halfway into the fattiness between toro and the regular cut. Abari style refers to nigiri sushi, where the fish is partially grilled topside and partially raw. Most nigiri sushi will have completely raw toppings, called neta. Other seafoods such as squid ika, eel anego, and unagi pike conger hamo, octopus taco, shrimp ebi and amoebae, clam marugai, aiyagi and akagai, fish roe ikura, masago, kazunoko, and tobiko, sea urchin uni, crab canny. Oysters, however, are less common, as the taste is thought to not go well with the rice. Canny kama, or imitation crab stick, is commonly substituted for real crab, most notably in California rolls. Pickled daikon, radish, takuan, and shinko-maki. Pickled vegetables, tsukemono, fermented soybeans, natto in natto-maki, avocado, cucumber in kappa-maki, asparagus, yam, pickled umeboshi, gourd campio, burdock gobo, and sweet corn, sometimes mixed with mayonnaise or plant products used in sushi. Tofu, eggs in the form of slightly sweet, layered omelette called tamagoyaki, and raw quail eggs as a gunkin maki topping are also common. Condiments. Sushi is commonly eaten with condiments. Sushi may be dipped in shoyu soy sauce and is usually flavored with wasabi, a piquant paste made from the grated stem of the Wasabia japonica plant. Japanese-style mayonnaise is a common condiment in Japan on salmon, pork, and other sushi cuts. The traditional grating tool for wasabi is a sharkskin grater or same-go oroshi. An imitation wasabi, seiya wasabi, made from horseradish, mustard powder, and green dye is common. It is found at lower-end kaiten sushi restaurants, in bento box sushi, and at most restaurants outside Japan. If manufactured in Japan, it may be labeled Japanese horseradish. The spicy compound in both true and imitation wasabi is allyl isothiocyanate, which has well-known antimicrobial properties. However, true wasabi may contain some other antimicrobial as well. Gari sweet. Pickled ginger is eaten in between sushi courses to both cleanse the palate and aid in digestion. In Japan, green tea acha is invariably served together with sushi. Better sushi restaurants often use a distinctive premium tea known as mecca. In sushi vocabulary, green tea is known as agari. Sushi may be garnished with gobo, grated daikon, thinly sliced vegetables, carrots/radishes/cucumbers that have been shaped to look like flowers, real flowers, or seaweed salad. When closely arranged on a tray, different pieces are often separated by green strips called barin or Kairoshizashi. These dividers prevent the flavors of neighboring pieces of sushi from mixing and help to achieve an attractive presentation. Originally, these were cut leaves from the Aspidistra elatir Xilan heron and Sasavatiaxingse kumazasa plants, respectively. Using actual leaves had the added benefit of releasing antimicrobial phytoncides when cut, thereby extending the limited shelf life of the sushi. Sushi bento boxes are a staple of Japanese supermarkets and convenience stores. As these stores began rising in prominence in the 1960s, the labor-intensive cut leaves were increasingly replaced with green plastic in order to lower costs. This coincided with the increased prevalence of refrigeration, which acted to extend the shelf life of sushi without the need for the cut leaves. Today, the plastic strips are commonly used in sushi bento boxes and to a lesser degree in sushi presentations found in sushi bars and restaurants. In store-sold or to-go packages of sushi, the plastic leaf strips are often used to prevent the rolls from coming into early or unwanted contact with the ginger and wasabi included with the dish. Nutrition. The main ingredients of traditional Japanese sushi, raw fish and rice, are naturally low in fat, high in protein, carbohydrates, the rice-only vitamins, and minerals as are gari and nori. Other vegetables wrapped within the sushi also offer various vitamins and minerals. Many of the seafood ingredients also contain omega-3 fatty acids, which have a variety of health benefits. The omega-3 fatty acids found in fish has certain beneficial properties, especially on cardiovascular health, natural anti-inflammatory compounds, and play a role in brain function. Generally, sushi is not a particularly fattening food. However, rice in sushi contains a fair amount of carbohydrates, plus the addition of other ingredients such as mayonnaise added into sushi rolls might increase the caloric content. Sushi also has a relatively high sodium content, especially contributed from shoyu soy sauce seasoning. Health risks. Health risks. Some of the ingredients in sushi can present health risks. Large marine apex predators, such as tuna, especially bluefin, can harbor high levels of methylmercury, which can lead to mercury poisoning when consumed in large quantity or when consumed by certain higher risk groups, including women who are pregnant or may become pregnant, nursing mothers, and young children. According to recent studies, there are approximately 18 million people infected with fish-borne flukes worldwide. Such an infection can be dangerous for expecting mothers due to the health risks that medical interventions or treatment measures may pose on the developing fetus. Parasitic infections can have a wide range of health impacts, including bowel obstruction, anemia, liver disease, and more. The impact of these illnesses alone can pose some health concerns on the expecting mother and baby, but the curative measures that may need to take place to recover are also a concern as well. Sashimi or other types of sushi containing raw fish present a risk of infection by three main types of parasites: Clonorchis sinensis, a fluke which can cause clonorchiasis; anisakis, a roundworm which can cause anisakiasis; Diphyllobothrium, a tapeworm which can cause diphyllobothriasis. For the above reasons, EU regulations forbid the use of fresh raw fish. It must be frozen at temperatures below 20 deg C 4 deg F in all parts of the product for no less than 24 hours. As such, a number of fishing boats, suppliers, and end users flash freeze fish for sushi to temperatures as low as 60 deg C. As well as parasite destruction, super freezing also prevents oxidation of the blood in tuna flesh, thus preventing the discoloration that happens at temperatures above 20 deg C. Some forms of sushi, notably those containing pufferfish fugu and some kinds of shellfish, can cause severe poisoning if not prepared properly. Particularly, fugu consumption can be fatal. Fugu fish has a lethal dose of tetrodotoxin in its internal organs and, by law in many countries, must be prepared by a licensed fugu chef who has passed the prefectural examination in Japan. The licensing examination process consists of a written test, a fish identification test, and a practical test that involves preparing the fugu and separating out the poisonous organs. Only about 35% of the applicants pass. Sustainable sushi. Sustainable sushi is sushi made from fished or farmed sources that can be maintained or whose future production does not significantly jeopardize the ecosystems from which it is acquired. Concerns over the sustainability of sushi ingredients arise from greater concerns over environmental, economic, and social stability and human health. Presentation. Traditionally, sushi is served on minimalist Japanese style, geometric, mono or duotone wood or lacquer plates, in keeping with the aesthetic qualities of this cuisine. Many sushi restaurants offer fixed-priced sets selected by the chef from the catch of the day. These are often graded as shochaku by Songju Mei, sho/matsu song, pine, chaku/takeju, bamboo, and by/yu mei, plum, with matsu the most expensive and yum the cheapest. Sushi restaurants will often have private booth dining, where guests are asked to remove their shoes, leaving them outside the room. However, most sushi bars offer diners a casual experience with an open dining room concept. Sushi may be served Kairoshizashi sushi train style. Color-coded plates of sushi are placed on a conveyor belt. As the belt passes, customers choose as they please. After finishing, the bill is tallied by counting how many plates of each color have been taken. Newer Kairoshizashi restaurants use barcodes or ARFID tags embedded in the dishes to manage elapsed time after the item was prepared. There is a practice called neta mori which entails serving the sushi on the naked body of a woman. Glossary. Some specialized or slang terms are used in the sushi culture. Most of these terms are used only in sushi bars. Agari, rise up green tea. Acha-o-cha in usual Japanese. Gari, sweet, pickled and sliced ginger, or sushi ginger. Shogashin-jang in standard Japanese. Jayaku, jewel, sweet and cubic-shaped omelet. Tamagoyaki luan shao, yuzai shao in standard Japanese. Murasaki, violet or purple color. Soy sauce. Shoujingyu in standard Japanese. Neta toppings on nigiri or fillings in makamono. Neta is from reversal of ta ni. Tanjong in standard Japanese. Oizo, complement. Ill or check. Oizo may be used in not only sushi bars but also izakaya, akenjo or cheku okanding or chayatsuku in standard Japanese. Oatmoto, chopsticks. Oatmoto means the nearest thing to the customer seated. Hashishu or ohashi in standard Japanese. Sabai, Japanese horseradish. Horseradish, horseradish, horseradish. Contracted form of wasabi shankui. Shari, vinegar rice or rice. It may originally be from Sanskrit zali shali meaning rice or sarira. Kohan go fan or meshi fan in standard Japanese. Sum, sweet thick sauce mainly made of soy sauce. Nitsum jujai mi in standard Japanese. Etiquette. Unlike sashimi, which is almost always eaten with chopsticks, nigirizushi is traditionally eaten with the fingers, even in formal settings. Although it is commonly served on a small platter with a side dish for dipping, sushi can also be served in a bento, a box with small compartments that hold the various dishes of the meal. Soy sauce is the usual condiment, and sushi is normally served with a small sauce dish or a compartment in the bento. Traditional etiquette suggests that the sushi is turned over so that only the topping is dipped. This is because the soy sauce is for flavoring the topping, not the rice, and because the rice would absorb too much soy sauce and would fall apart. If it is difficult to turn the sushi upside down, one can baste the sushi in soy sauce using gari sliced ginger as a brush, 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 and as a brush. Toppings that have their own sauce, such as eel, should not be eaten with soy sauce. Traditionally, the sushi chef will add an appropriate amount of wasabi to the sushi while preparing it, and etiquette suggests eating the sushi as is, since the chef is supposed to know the proper amount of wasabi to use. However, today wasabi is more a matter of personal taste, and even restaurants in Japan may serve wasabi on the side for customers to use at their discretion, even when there is wasabi already in the dish. Gallery,